When you open the Qur'an, you come across prophets, kings, miracles, nations that rose and fell. But among all these great figures, one woman rises above them all. A woman whose name is mentioned more than any other woman in the entire Qur'an. A woman so honored that an entire surah is named after her. A woman Allah described as chosen, purified, elevated, and honored above all women of the world. Maryam. Not Asiya, not Khadija, not Fatima, not Sarah or Hajar. Maryam, the daughter of Imran. Have you ever wondered why? Why did Allah mention her story in such detail? Why is her name repeated again and again? Why is her journey, her pain, her purity, her miracle placed at the heart of Allah's final revelation? Let's go back, before the miracle, before the virgin birth, before the accusations, before the loneliness, back to the moment her story truly began. A righteous woman, the mother of Maryam, raises her hands in dua. She wasn't asking for wealth, she wasn't asking for status, she wasn't asking for the things people chase today. She asked Allah for a child she vowed to dedicate entirely to Him. Surah Al-Imran. But when she gave birth, she said something out of surprise. Rabbi, I delivered a girl. Not out of disappointment, not out of rejection, but because in those times, the ones who served Bayt al-Maqdis were men. But listen to the response. Allah said, the male is not like the female, not in weakness, not in limitation, but in purpose. Allah was saying, you think you know her potential, but I know the role she was born to fulfill. Maryam was not a child of coincidence. She was a child of divine preparation. From the moment she opened her eyes, she was placed under the guardianship of a prophet, Zachariah, peace be upon him. Her room became a place where miracles descended. Fruit from winter appeared in summer. Provision came without anyone entering, Surah Al-Imran. And Zachariah, peace be upon him, would ask, O Maryam, where did this come from? And she would reply, it is from Allah. From the very beginning, Allah was teaching her and teaching us that He is the one who provides without limit. But then came the moment that shook the world, a moment no other woman in history experienced. The angel appeared, not with a warning, not with a command, with news. The kind of news that would terrify any woman living alone in a place of worship. You will have a child. Surah Maryam. And she said, how can I have a child when no man has ever touched me? A pure question, a sincere confusion. And the angel replied, it is easy for Allah. A reminder for every believer who feels trapped, cornered, helpless. The impossible becomes simple when Allah wills it. But here's something most people overlook. Allah did not just choose Maryam because she was pure. Allah chose her because she had the strength to carry a miracle the world would not understand. She would face judgment. She would face whispers. She would face accusations. She would face isolation. She would face pain that no one would ever truly comprehend. Carrying Isa, peace be upon him, was not just a miracle. It was a test of emotional endurance, spiritual trust, and absolute surrender to Allah. And then the moment of childbirth arrived. Alone, exhausted, terrified. She reached the trunk of a palm tree and cried, I wish I had died before this and was forgotten. Surah Maryam. These words, they break the heart. This was Maryam, the honored one, the chosen one, overwhelmed by the weight of her test. Sometimes even the strongest believers reach a moment where they feel they can no longer continue. But Allah never abandons His servants. He called out to her, do not grieve. 2 words, but enough to restore a heart shattered by fear. And then He gave her a stream of water, fresh dates falling from above, ease in the middle of hardship. Allah was telling her and telling you, I see you, I hear you, I am with you. But her test wasn't over. She had to return to her people, carrying a baby. Imagine the whispers, imagine the shock, imagine the accusations. But Allah did not tell her to argue or defend herself or explain. He told her to remain silent, because there are moments in life when Allah fights your battles for you. She pointed to the child, and the miracle happened. A newborn baby spoke, I am the servant of Allah. Surah Maryam. At that moment, all tongues fell silent. Allah honored her in front of the world. He cleared her name through a miracle no one could deny. He raised her status until the end of time. So why is Maryam mentioned more than any other woman? Because her life is a lesson for every believer. A lesson in purity in a world drowning in temptation. A lesson in trust when everything seems impossible. A lesson in patience when people misjudge you. A lesson in honor, because true honor comes only from Allah. A lesson in resilience when the burden feels too heavy to carry. A lesson in faith when Allah asks you to walk a path you don't understand. And maybe the greatest lesson, Allah honors you not because the world praises you, but because you remain loyal to Him in private. Maryam's story is not just a historical event. It's a reminder for every heart that feels unseen, for every woman who feels alone, for every man who carries a burden in silence, for every believer facing a test that feels heavier than their strength. Maryam was not chosen because she lived an easy life. She was chosen because she held on to Allah through the hardest moments. And if you hold on to Allah the way she did, Allah will raise you too, maybe not in the eyes of the world, but in His sight, and that is the